Hello everyone, welcome to Officer of 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of AFM. Okay, we couldn't have the class yesterday, but what are we going to do today? Chaliye, let's discuss the particular area, everyone. First of all, when we talk about uh, Module D, we started with the Module D. Module D has different kinds of costing methods. Do you remember the different kinds of costing methods that we discussed? Job costing, customized work. है ना? Job costing is customized. Second point is job costing, contract costing. Contract costing is where we are looking into the contractual area. Job costing, contract costing. The next costing is process costing. I go through multiple processes. Then the next point, job costing, process costing, contract costing. The next point would be operation costing. Operating costing is for all the services. है ना, that is for nursing home and all. And job costing, contract costing, then batch costing. I prepare a specific batch that is called batch costing. Process is also done already. I think all the specific types are already covered. They are the main types. Another batch costing and also called unit costing. Unit costing is also different. Unit costing is, for example, I prepare salt. Same salt is prepared every single time. It just goes on and on and on and on. So this is unit costing. Batches, basically I prepare a lot. You know, blue toys, green toys, this toys, that toys, I keep on changing. These are different types of costing methods. So based upon this, here comes Acha. Okay, we had started with the specific topic of standard costing. I think I forgot to update the main page. This is standard costing. Okay, the questions are related to the area of standard costing. You'll be downloading the particular PDF now. I'll be updating it there. That's everyone. Standard costing. Standard costing is basically a specific type of costing which talks about what? It says that when you are working in an organization, there are certain standards which are set. It's obvious. Everyone, if you do not set a standard, what will happen? Without a specific standard, one of the basic problems that would arise is we will not have a benefit in terms of work. The problem is that you need to have a specific we need to have a specific clarity about what are the standards and how do we try to achieve it, isn't it? Till the time we do not really have this particular clarity, how will we work, right? This is what could be the possible cause of labor time or efficiency variance. When we talk about labor time and efficiency variance, it says high quality material, and then the next point is related to the area of high quality material, then strict adherence to standard production procedures, or introduction of new tools or machines or skill level matching standard costing experiences. Hanji, what would be the answer? Labor and time and efficiency. See, when we talk about labor time, we always plan more. Whether we have lesser time defined, but we technically get more time to do things, isn't it? This is very, very normal in any organization, isn't it? Sometimes we have more timing for the things, and but we need more time, but things doesn't really happen that way. This is related to labor, so high quality material has nothing to do with it. Strict adherence to strict standard production procedures, or introduction of new tools or scale level matching standard costing expectations. See, first is definitely not the point. The second point that would be more important would be introduction of new tools. You introduce a new tool, the training of it is obviously not done yet. The people would be very, very conscious about it, है ना? Isn't it? This would be a basic problem. Ki if I'm given a specific uh, tool and I don't know about it, what will happen? I will take more time. Actual time will be more than my standard time. this will be giving me a particular, that is when we talk about efficiency variance, or when we talk about the time variance na, we have standard time minus actual time, and there we have standard rate. Okay, this is what we'll be choosing on to. Acha, which factor may contribute? This was the previous was the reason for the trouble. Now we're talking about labor time or efficiency variance. Superior quality of material used, non-standard working condition, perfect adherence to standard procedure, or skill level exceeding standard expectation. Labor time or efficiency variance. Why would things happen in a good way? Material has nothing to do with labor. है ना? Non-standard working conditions. That can be a problem, not a solution to it. Perfect adherence to standard procedures or skill level exceeding. अच्छा, basically skill level is the point. नहीं, which factor may contribute? अच्छा ठीक है, this is may contribute to the variance. This is a positive point. When you are doing this, there would never be a variance. And skill level exceeding experience will also be a positive situation. There would be only one negative, because first one is all irrelevant and this one is a negative point. Okay, ठीक है ना? When we talk about the area of superior the non-standard working conditions, you don't have any standard. How what will happen? The variances would be major. है ना? Next point, what is the variable overhead expenditure variance? Difference between actual variable overhead hours and budgeted, actual and budgeted overhead, or actual and budgeted fixed overhead, or when we talk about total variance and overhead cost. Variable overhead is linked with only and only variable, everyone. It is not linked with the fixed at all. So technically this is out. And this is also out. Now tell me, actual and budgeted hours and actual and overhead expenditure. The answer is clear. It is B. It's talking about what we had budgeted. Overheads are basically the expenditure which are not directly linked with the production, है ना? So then, मतलब overhead is over and above. So overhead expenditures are very important for any organization, right? If you don't do these organizations, you cannot produce properly. So what will you do? There would be a difference between actual and what you thought of, है ना? Done? Next point. What causes the variable overhead volume or variance? Efficiency variance. Variable overhead volume, मतलब what we thought of the volume and it went over and above or less than that, है ना? That would be the point. Difference between variable overhead expenditure per hour, actual and budgeted fixed overheads. This is all about variable. This has nothing to do with the fixed. So probably this is the first point which I'll be definitely keeping out of the window. The next point is that actual and budgeted variable overhead hours. Last one is variation in material quality. The correct answer is difference between actual and budgeted overhead variable. Only the specific hours are what we thought we'll be requiring in terms of additional hours and what we don't require. Next point. What is benchmarking, everyone? Internal performance assessment, looking outside the business to assess performance, evaluating financial statements, or setting unrealistic standards. Benchmarking is basically setting up a standard. Benchmarking is कि अच्छा, it should take 10 hours, it should take 5 hours, it should take this much time, that much time. When we define should na, that is benchmarking. And this should be realistic. If I tell you कि nahi, I think this can be achieved in a very small time, this will not happen. These things are not correct, right? Internal performance assessment is not the point. Looking outside the business, when we talk about the assessments, the goals have to be absolutely clear and flawless. Evaluating financial statements, nah. Then we have setting unrealistic standards. You do this part. Try and set up the standards which are unrealistic. I tell you ki, sir, ma'am, you should study for 12 hours a day. You'll be like, ma'am, we are technically left with 12 hours a day after we are done with our office work. Sometimes less than that. Then that includes, those 12 hours includes our sleep, our family time, and our resting time as well. We are not machines. If we could go 24 hours, then probably things would have been very different. But human mind and body says ki ho gaya mera aaj ka. That means unrealistic standards are just not the point. You cannot achieve them, and ultimately it will cause a lot of deviation. So internal performance assessment is the best point now. Because rest, I think I am like the rest points aren't really fitting in. Looking outside the business to assess the performance, nahi, it has to be internal performance assessment. We are actually putting up a benchmarking is not nothing related to this. I think we have to rephrase the question. I'll rephrase this part, everyone. Okay. So I think let's leave out this question because you don't look outside a business to assess the performance. Acha, why is it important to study the technical and operational aspects of manufacturing process during benchmarking? To set unrealistic standards, to compare with industry benchmarks, to hide inefficiencies, or to avoid industry practices. Always remember, benchmarking plays an important role. If I said ki normally you should give 2 hours, and this is what you think ki nahi, this can always be achievable, na? 2 hours, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening can be definitely adjusted. Despite the fact you have a family, despite the fact you have work, I've seen, matlab, I think I'd seen both men and women. They have children as well. They are taking care of their family, and yet they are studying. Matlab, I've seen exceptionally hardworking women. They're like, I am preparing food right now. We are making dinner, and right now I'm also taking the class. Sometimes there had been women who are taking care of their kids, 1.5 year old child, and they're saying, Ma'am, we are studying, but my kid is crying right now. I might have to leave the class. So, what is happening in that case? Those people are also studying now. So, in this case, what are they doing? When you are comparing, when we talk about the men, they are traveling. Matlab, people leave. I have seen my bankers going for the office at 8, or they're leaving their places at 8. From 8 to 9, if I have a class with them, or before that, then they are taking the classes or watching the recordings during their travel time. What are those? Are they setting unrealistic standards? No. To compare industry benchmarks, this is what I can say ki, to clear JIB or to clear CIB, this much amount of time is definitely required. That is what we can say now, to compare with industry benchmarks. You can compare yourself with the person who's in the banking area. If you try to compare it with the student, he'll be definitely outsmarting you because he has the entire day with him. He can cry, he can do his work, and then yet he would be having, if a kid is studying, if he studies for 4 hours a day, he still has the entire day with him. You and I, if we have given 4 hours to our studies, then that means probably if we would have left any kind of the household task or the basic course that we were supposed to finish off, isn't it? We take out that time that way. So these are practical things. Anyway, let's go on to the next point. Okay. What is the primary purpose for reporting the management? Concealing inefficiencies. We do not report to hide things. है ना? If we try to hide the things, then that won't work. Why do we tell everything, everyone? The point is so that the organization cannot face any problem. Simple problem, simple solution. Concealing inefficiencies, identifying areas of concern, delaying corrective action, or hiding favorable variances. Favorable variances are highlighted, they are never hidden. When you are going good somewhere, na, you are gonna tell people ki, देखिए, I'm good at it. है ना? So we are not concealing something. And the answer would be identifying the areas of concern. The moment you find a deviation, you're going to work upon it. What is the consideration for effective reporting of variances? Providing too many details in the report, delaying the reporting process, keeping the report prompt and highlighting main details, or concealing variances from the management. What's going to be the answer according to you, everyone? Okay. What is the consideration for of effective reporting? Why do we report? मतलब considerations are basically you are not going to delay the report. You cannot provide too much details, but you have to keep the report crisp, and at the same time you have to highlight the main details, because if the main details aren't highlighted, then there would be too much confusion in it. Next point, what should be the variance of each cost center be correctly separated in the report? To hide inefficiencies, to mislead the management, to delay corrective action, or to ensure accurate analysis and reporting. Everyone? Variances of each cost center be correctly separated in the report. It has to be specified so that there can be proper reporting. We have to highlight the things. Till the time we really don't ensure that the things are highlighted properly, how will we find things? है ना? What is the primary purpose of variance analysis in a standard costing system? Primary purpose of variance. The primary purpose of variance is only one thing: to ignore actual performance, to ascertain the budgeted performance, to identify the cause and variance. When we talk about standard costing, variance system was started because सोचा था क्या और क्या हो गया. That means what we thought of as a standard and how did we actually perform. Standard and our actual. We compare these things. That's how we find the deviation. So then correct answer is C, actual cost and the standard cost. What does the standard cost of a product or a service represent? Historical, expected cost, variable cost, or actual? We are just looking at standards are basically something which is anticipated. Okay? Always remember, this is what we are expecting that would happen, isn't it? There is no final key. This is the amount that will happen, and we are not flexible about it. It's a stupidity. Things will vary, things will change, and they can definitely have a lot of impact over other things. Danji, next point. What does the labor time or labor efficiency variance in the standard costing system indicate? Labor efficiency and labor time. Standard time and actual time. If I thought of a specific time to be taken and it takes a lesser time, then it's good. I'm being more efficient. But if I'm taking more time, then I'm not being efficient. If there's no variance, it went perfect. The execution happened in the perfect way. Consistent actual time for manufacturing 1 unit. Changes in quality of finished goods compared to the standard costing. Actual time being different from the standards, or following standard production procedure accurately. The correct answer is actual time being different from the standard estimated. Normally this happens so that the standard time and actual time are just not falling in place. है ना? Next point. What contributes to labor time or labor efficiency, everyone? Labor time or labor efficiency in a standard costing. So this is a kind of similar question that we have already done, but these are just different points. Consistent actual time for manufacturing 1 unit following standard production procedure accurately. Actual time being different from the standard hours, or accurate estimation, skilled and unskilled labor mix. The answer would be actual time being different from standard. Similar question, similar answer. Which one of the following is related to material usage variance? Usage variance is just like similar to the system that we did. If I am baking a cake, and while baking the cake, if the icing sugar is more, the cake will not be the same. If I add too much of chocolate chips, it won't be the same. So basically, material usage is basically when whatever raw material you are using, what's the ratio of it? If it is going to be used 1:2:1, 1 unit of A, 1 unit of C, but 2 units of B. When we are using this thing, then this should be the answer. Following standard production procedure, inferior quality of material purchase, reduced wastage during manufacturing, consistent quality of finished goods. Hanji. Material usage is basically when we change that particular point. We are not following this procedure. We are not even reducing the wastage. Inferior quality of material. If we basically purchase one of the material which is inferior, then we would be compensating with others. Okay? that will cause the problem. And this is one particular thing where the particular product will change. And once we lose our standardization, this is where we lose our respect in the market as well. This happens, for example, when matlab Maggie faced a very major problem because it was said it was above the lead was above the standard, and that was not good for the body and XYZ. It lost its entire market within no time, you know. So if your mix of anything in the raw material changes, or people find a deviation from the standards which were set, then this can definitely bring a lot of negativity for the organization. Acha everyone, before we end this particular class, have you reviewed the particular sale? If you haven't, then why not? It is very, very important to go ahead and buy the Mahapack right away. Why? Because double validity is going on. Buy Mahapack. Why I'm saying this? You're getting it for 24 months. You just have to click on the area of buy now. Currently, you can see it is at 12,073. Use the code Y541. Okay, as soon as I click on the value of Y541, I applied it. Look at this. I get for 11,023 rupees. Technically, just look at this fact that you will get for 11,000, but for 24 months. That means you don't even have to pay single penny for JAIIB, single penny for CIIB. All the money that you will be paying in advance, this is going to help you over the 2 months. Technically, it's for 24 months, right? If I look at the particular calculation, it is 24 months, and you just have to pay almost negligible amount for that, isn't it? What you need to do is you will have to pay 11,023 divided by 24 months. Per month is 459. You know, it's hardly 460 rupees per month. So go ahead and check it out on our website and our app for further details. Under this, you will get both bilingual as well as English medium. You will get the entire test series, ebooks, the videos, everything is available. So go ahead and check it out right away.